Well, howdy there, Internet people, it's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's plane, power, and a question. Okay, so Trump's palace in the sky, billion-dollar to refit, obsolete, and under-equipped plane is still somehow under consideration, and it's still a topic of conversation. So, just real quick before we get to the actual point. No, it isn't anything like the Statue of Liberty or Resolute Desk. One was congressionally approved. The other is still in the White House, not transferred to a foundation. Now, let's get on to something we can actually learn from this. Country X offers a $400 million airplane to the U.S. What happens? Other than the ensuing scandal in the United States. Trump went from saying Country X had a long history of funding non-state actors and condemning the country, to acting like they were a close friend. Countries don't have friends, they have interests. What else happened? Well, a whole lot of people in the United States heard of the country for the first time, and partisan supporters of Trump now have a more favorable opinion of the country. Beyond that, they now have more international press and are seen as a bigger player in the Middle East than they really are. But beyond the rhetoric change from Trump, the goodwill and name recognition is there. As proof, I have not said the name of Country X in this video, but I bet you know the name of it. When the U.S. gives stuff away or funds things in other countries, the same thing happens. Large portions of the country think more highly of the U.S. because of the aid. Most of those people have some say in their government. That government is now more likely to be U.S. friendly. Just like what happened with the plane. This is soft power at work. If you know about the plane and know about the country who provided it, congrats! You're living proof that soft power and aid in seemingly ridiculous ways pays off. I wonder if somewhere in Country X, there's a tech billionaire saying, our government just gave a country a $400 million plane for the head of state on the other side of the world. And that country already has multiple planes to move their head of state. Seems like waste. Concerning. They don't. What's actually happening is that the Prime Minister is saying stuff like, quote, why would we buy influence in the United States? Then saying his country has, quote, always been a reliable and trusted partner. This is not a one-way relationship. See? Friends. Soft power. If somebody didn't see this aspect of it, as many in the administration didn't, maybe they aren't really the best choices to be determining anything about U.S. aid. Speaking of unearned confidence and less than informed positions, I've got a question I'm going to read. Quote, oh no, the redneck lady doesn't approve of her president's decision about getting a new plane to replace the 40-year-old planes he has. You talked about national security. Have you ever thought about what would happen if one of those planes breaks down? You think because you have a camera and a YouTube channel that anybody should take you seriously. If you cared about national security, maybe you should have pulled into the strip mall and signed up. Think before your next video. Until then, let the grown folks talk. I know, y'all think that's the part I'm going to respond to, but it's not. I just wanted to read that part for fun. The real question is, what would happen if one of those old planes breaks down? The president would transfer to one of the newer 757s that tails the 747 in the Presidential Airlift Group. I guess, really, they're C-32s, and they aren't officially acknowledged. But Trump has used them as backgrounds while giving speeches. They're painted like the 747, but they don't have the hump. And they make model airplanes of it. Google before your next question. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.